Now the all-important question of which color.
Other than yellow or red.
The
Sorry,
usual suspects.
I took yellow for consistency and because my character is basically bronze.
I took red just because it's my favorite color. So.
Ooh, Godwin has taken one of my favorite colors. Does that mean I'll favor him or torture him more than Malkill this time around?
I mean, those sound like the same thing to me.
Well, on the bright side, my character has replaceable limbs.
You say that like there aren't other ways for me to scar characters. Tyler, you sound like a monster.
Yeah, we're gonna have to destroy you.
Already discovering the BBEG.
He
Not,
hates being that twice in a row.
not even hiding it this time.
No, I think the BBEG is all of the organizations on this asteroid. This is not a happy place. It is a hive of scum and villainy. And
But
not the fun kind. What was that, Malkill?
But is it a wretched hive?
The elves wouldn't say so, but what they define as wretched doesn't necessarily meet everyone else's definition.
For
And there's nothing wretched about the Fallen. The Fallen is beautiful. The Fallen is fantastic. The Fallen is welcoming.
Wow.
Well, he is certainly musical.
Tyler is AI now.
I was actually really pleased with my miniature this time around. I think it turned out amazing.
It's very pretty.
Quite finished mine.
And that's okay. You got another week before we.
Oh, we got a note there.
Mic check 1 2.
3 4.
Yeah, we can hear.
Wonderful.
So what was up with that?
I don't know. I had to disconnect and reconnect all my stuff, but it ended up working. For whatever reason, it didn't register my my microphone and headset.
That is.
It might. I don't think my stuff saved last time. I swore I saved my Hero Forge model.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh no.
What's the password?
If you scroll up, it's right under
Gotcha.
ELP. Let's go. It seemed appropriate.
Just don't say it out loud because our mics are already hot.
Gotcha.
And you get to choose a new color if you want. Right now we have the 3 primaries.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with orange this time.
All right, then. And do you have
And,
the figurine for Malkiel to load up yet?
oh, for sure. Just promote me and I can generate it.
I always offer one to him, but he always makes his own. Or not makes, but redeems his own.
Yeah, I appreciate the thought, but I got credits I can use.
Yeah, I've still got about 119 credits, so I'm trying to kind of
Does that mean you have 119 more you can print out?
Yeah.
That's why I've been so generous with offering them to people. I'm like, you know what? I have not been using them as much as I thought I would. I'm just going to give these away. That way people don't have to.
So we're having one small set on the board and one large set by your name, apparently.
I figure why not?
I really like how my mini came out.
Yeah, we got a good set so far.
Yeah, that came out.
Very
I
space
keep think,
Wild West.
I keep thinking that for my third state, I probably should have elevated it a little bit more, but it'll look fine when it's actually.
All right. So we're all here. We've got 3 of 4 players all set on the board. We have 3 of 4 character sheets in D&D Beyond. And I think we're all set to go for session 0. So starting right off the bat, currently I'm just calling this Soulfall because that's the name of this asteroid. If we can figure out a name, it took us until Light and Pneumatic died to figure out the Light Pneumatic was going to be the name of the game. So we got time to work that out. But if anyone has suggestions, we'll take them here.
Oh, can I not click this? Oh, curse me, I designed it. John, could you click the friend button here for me? I'm trying to stabilize everyone, and this is a tool that I made.
Select one target first. Who do I select?
Oh, select everyone over here. Right on. Okay, everyone should be stabilized now. I create states. There we go.
All right, so far, this is a spell jamming campaign. You're all level 3 to begin with. Let's start with introducing everyone's characters. Godwin, you're not on the board right now, so why don't we give you the advantage of going first?
My character is her name is Che Everwind. She is a Kender sorcerer. She's a bit on the sneaky side for a sorcerer, which is a bit weird. But I don't think I'm gonna dabble into rogue, but we'll see. She's she needs some money.
Hmm.
She's inquisitive, and might get her into a bit of trouble now and then. But because I like playing button pushers,
And I see you took Lucky again.
That is from her background. I did go through because I did not like the changes to Lucky to the point where I would not take it as a feat if I had the choice. But I do like the Wayfarer background for her. Everything else, so I think I'm going to stick with it.
And did you mention what species she is?
Yes, she is a Kender.
A sneaky Kender who taunts enemies.
I mean, she has the ability. I don't know how much I'm going to be using it.
All right, going around the table. I guess Malkiel, you're up next.
All right. My character, as I'm sure you all know by now, because I wouldn't stop talking about her, is Kathy, which is short for Kobold Adapted Soul System Integration. She is basically a soul trapped in a crystal attached to a robot. She is fairly old, not quite sure how old. We may or may not delve into that in the game. We'll see. And she, like everybody else here, is working for one of the corp. Not quite sure which, because we have not got.
You're cutting out a little bit, Mel. You said one of the corp, which I assume corporations.
No, is it?
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Yeah, kind of right and left.
You're never quite finishing a sentence.
Yeah, that one neither.
Yeah. I might have to just use my other microphone and ignore the voice changing thing until I can get that fixed. But yes, she is working for one of the corporations. Not sure which one because we have not really talked about that yet. But I mean, pretty much everybody on this asteroid is indebted to them in one way.
You're also just a tad staticky.
Yeah, the quality is not great.
Yep, give me a moment, I'll fix that. But I'm just trying to finish up.
Yeah.
No, you must fix all technical problems now.
Immediately. Post haste.
That's not.
All we got was that's not.
Was it peaking for Discord?
Look, Cassie is having some technical difficulties. Let them work through them.
It's not easy being a crystal attached to a robot kobold body.
Why don't we jump ahead to Tyler and Raccoon Druid and what he's
Tyler
playing.
is fine. I'm okay with Tyler. I am Kitlek Triggerclaw. He is a actual kobold fighter. He is a arcane archer, but he uses a firearm instead of a bow and arrow. He was hatched from an egg that was improperly stored amongst the supplies of a smuggling vessel and was raised by smugglers. He doesn't really have much in common with most kobolds, just, a lot more in common with career criminals than anything else. Kind of rose through their ranks, started life as like a little mascot, like the kid that you would get your, get your coffee or your wrench or whatever, and rose to be an actual member of a crew and ended up excelling at like planning heists and that sort of thing. Everything kind of went south for him though when his smuggling vessel attempted to pilfer some weapons from a crew of GIF, and the GIF actually had it all set up as an ambush waiting for them. Killed pretty much everyone he knew except for himself, who was small enough to hide, and he hid and managed to escape, and has sworn a vow against all GIF, and is going to get revenge for his former crew. So now he's working as a bounty hunter, just trying to make ends meet out here in, the middle of nowhere, doing what he can to get some money.
And Darcy.
So I am playing a gnome druid who Genevieve DeSantos, who is an ecologist, a biologist with a focus in planar zoologist, sometimes eco-terrorist, sometimes liberator of forgotten history. She comes from the forest and has chosen to work for the corporations to make money for her own personal reasons.
And you are a...
I said that at the beginning. A gnome druid.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Is that a badger?
Yes, she has a space honey badger and a bluebird.
Nice.
And what are their names? That's the important thing.
One is Fern. The other is Finn.
Sounds fair. What were you going to say, Goldwyn? Sorry.
Just for visual's sake, my idea was kind of Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn squished down into like 3'4" or whatever. I will endeavor to make her look different from Genevieve now that I see her.
I will say you do not want to go barefoot on this asteroid, ever.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't.
And Tyler, what were you going to say?
Oh, you say sounds fair after you said, after Genevieve said the name for animals, and I just added an N sound to it for Farron. Huh.
We're not doing...
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we're not doing inspiration at the moment, so...
Tragic. I should also note that kobold miniatures can't have shoes put on them with kobold feet, so I just
it's
had
assumed
to...
you're all...
Yeah.
The statues are, or the figurines are indicative of your character on maps and to look pretty for the pictures, but they're not 100% appropriate.
Speaking of maps, I've got about 1 billion what do you call it? Not Dungeon Draft, Wonder Draft assets that I can throw at you as well if you would like them. I've bought a whole mess of them.
I will not say no. But doesn't have to be right now, not to worry.
Of course.
So you are all going to be on Soulfall, which is here. And you are going to start in a place called the Crimson Plateau, unless I change my mind and you're going to end up in a slave pit somewhere. But I don't think I'm going to throw that at you. But I am going to throw this at you. Hold on. Enjoy. That is a map of the asteroid, its major locations, and a bit of information for you to look through over the next week. Crimson Plateau will tell you what's there. And for the bounty hunter and ecologist, there's a bit of information on some of these that might catch your eye, so you might want to think about it as a long-term goal if you want to do that, or if you're all just going to try and steal a ship and zoom out of here instantly.
Well, it's definitely going to be one of those.
I figured.
Quick thing.
Yeah?
First of all, are you getting any feedback on talking like this?
No. Not yet.
Okay, is it still staticky? Is it still breaking up?
Not really.
It's really clear.
Okay, I might have found a solution then.
Let's make sure, is this still working?
It does. It's a little bit tinny, but, that makes sense given you're a robot.
Excellent. I will play a little bit more with it later, but that is good news so far.
And what was the other thing you wanted to ask?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a couple things.
Yeah, so like I said, this is just it is not a friendly place, although parts of it certainly have a friendly veneer. It is very dangerous, and one of the optional mechanics that we were going to discuss is resurrection. It's discussed in the Crimson. I apologize ahead of time, by the way, for any misspellings. This was all rushed out over the weekend. There are two competing companies that offer basically a form of immortality here. Now, the question is, would you like that? There is a trade-off. One is it costs gold, so it does cost gold. So it's just a payment up front, or they do accept. Basically, you owe them a little bit for each of your missions. And of course, if you do die, you don't necessarily get your stuff. For a little extra, anything you're attuned to will also come with you as it's attached to your soul. But yeah, anything else, you have to hope that either it's not melted or lost somewhere, or that your friends will pick it up. So the question is, first and foremost, for the three of you who it can apply to, do you want to use that mechanic?
I think Kitlak knows enough not to want to be indebted to corporations more than is absolutely necessary, and I think he would turn that down.
Okay.
Genevieve has kind of similar, more so that she needs that money for other purposes.
All right, and that leaves just Shay.
I think similar to Genevieve, any money that she would pick up, she would feel that it is needed elsewhere.
Well, like I said, the option was you could also just offer to pay them as you go with a little down payment. But that option is available while you're on this asteroid. Cassie is a uh, special condition. She kind of has it already built in, so we will go ahead and leave that as is. So that's the first one. Next is, oh, give me 1 second here. Next is some game mechanics. So none of you are humans, so we don't have to worry about that in sleep long, uh, long rest inspiration stuff. I will be using inspiration when you guys have earned it, definitely. Have you guys filled out your characteristics on your character sheets?
I don't
Oh,
think
you got
so.
cut off there. Yeah, my personality traits and all that are filled out, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. Shay, it looks like you still need to work on that. Oh, that's okay. You got a week.
Yes, I have. Since I didn't go through last time.
It's okay. If you feel like you've earned some inspiration because you've role played really well, one of those, you can call it, let me know, and I will make a judgment call. Some simple ones. Drinking a potion is a bonus action, just like on Friday. What are the other ones that we have on Friday that we just really like? I'm trying to think. The cleave option is for melee characters. Do we have any melee? We don't have any melee characters. Never mind. If we get some, the cleave option is available.
I mean, technically, when Genevieve transforms, she's melee.
fair enough.
Is there flanking?
I was just going to say there's an actual weapon mastery that offers lead.
That was the question. Did we want to go down the weapon mastery route from 2024 or not?
I'm not familiar.
Kitlak
I don't
has
think
weapon
any of it-
mastery baked into him, so he has it for sure.
Um,
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think any of our characters except for Kitlak does.
hmm
okay.
Nobody else has martial proficiency.
Right. It's only martial weapons. Okay.
Yep.
Then I guess we're going for it if you have martial weapons. As usual, if you meet the target number, you beat it if you're rolling. Initiative. Now, Malco did share a video on some options for initiative. How do we want to do it this round? Do we want to go the standard initiative? Do we want to have everyone roll, and then you guys can decide on the order based on that? Each one gets to decide: do you go now, or do you just drop to a different level, different turn order at the beginning of your turn? How would you like to do initiative? Does anyone have any opinions, thoughts, ideas?
I would personally say for initiative, just regular initiative, because there is a feat that allows you to swap with somebody.
Okay.
That's what the new alert feat.
All right. Before I introduce some additional things, does anyone want to suggest or recommend anything? We'll go around the table. Galdwin, do you have anything you want to suggest or recommend?
I just had the question about. I know we don't have a ton of melee, but flanking.
Flanking, as in if one of your allies is, if you're on each side of an enemy, you get flanking, aka advantage.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion either way. I just curious.
I think that's a special trait that you can actually get now.
Oh, is it okay?
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to say if you get a flanking advantage, I will call it out, but by default, you won't. How's that?
Okay.
Malkill, do you have anything?
No, just to the video I linked if there was anything you wanted to bring up from that. But yeah, I would agree on only by DM's call on the flanking, just because of how powerful it is.
Okay, Tyler.
No, I don't have any special rules I can think of that would be applicable here.
And RC.
Nay.
Okay. So there are two things I did want to bring in from Blades in the Dark, which since I've seen it, I've been wanting to bring them in. It's two mechanics. One is flashbacks. As all of our games have kind of proven, planning for events is not our forte. Let me take that back. It's Anthesi's forte, and it usually goes to a mess before anything happens, unfortunately. Flashbacks mean you don't have to think or prepare too much ahead of time. Basically, say you guys are robbing a vault, and who's the charismatic one? Shay, you took an afternoon to find a guard, get him drunk, and learn all the guard entrances which aren't monitored. You would say at that moment of breaking in that I did this, and then you would make a roll. And what was recommended in the video is for each roll that costs a hit die, and I think that's fair. That way, if for something like Kitchlat needs to pull a bomb out of his coat and you forgot to say that I bought one earlier, you can flashback to see if you did buy one earlier and how successful you were.
Mm.
And as long as you have hit die, that's fine. Which right now, that's not such a. I mean, you only have 4, so it's or 3, 3 hit die, so you don't get many flashbacks. As we level up, there may have to be some changes to that because in Blades in the Dark, you get 6. Period. Um, Before any more than that, and you'll kill yourself. Whereas here we reach level 12. Well, that's 12 rolls you can make with flashbacks. You can do an entire day in flashbacks with that. So, but for
Here,
now,
how
go ahead.
about this? Because Blades in the Dark has a limit of hits, why not say that your limit is half of your maximum hit dice?
Round it up. I'll be generous. So that gives you 2 right now. Yeah, I like that. So does that work for everyone? Basically, you say flashback. I did this. I would have you roll, say, you need to find a bomb. Investigation. You found it. Okay. You spend the hit dice whether you succeed or fail. But what does everyone think about that?
I like it.
But yeah, I'd be willing to try that. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Sure.
I figure why don't we try it? If we don't like it, we can decide.
Yep. The other thing is they call it the Devil's Bargain. I would call it Tiamat's Bargain, or Asmodeus's Bargain. It'll depend on how I'm feeling. Basically, it'll be one of 2 things. One, you're in a situation where you're not sure how good you're going to roll, or it's a really terrible situation. I will offer a bargain. That basically means you will get advantage on a roll, but it will cost something, and it could be something tangible, or it could be less tangible. It could be a level of exhaustion, or it could be that you betray someone close to you by doing this. It's stuff like that. The other way, though, is that if you are in a situation where you can think of a good bargain, you can say you want a devil's bargain and explain what you want to do and why this bargain should go through. Um, and I'll give you a yay or nay on it. You can suggest a cost, but that won't guarantee a cost. That's what the cost is. But you will know the cost ahead of time. It's not a comes out of left field. You will know what that cost is because it is an honest bargain. It's just a bargain that could hurt a big deal. But it could also mean you do awesome or get you out of a really tight situation because you have advantage. Although, as we've seen before, you can roll double ones and the bargain still happens. You just didn't get that lucky. So, are you guys interested in that?
That sounds fun. I think my one concern would be how correlated like the consequence is to the action. I'd want it to be like like I definitely want it to be related. So it's not like some cosmic like, oh, I really want to, persuade this guard. My, childhood best friend dies. Like I'd want it to have like a little bit more crossover. You know what I mean? Like actually relation.
It would be more along the lines of, you really want to persuade this guard. Okay, if you succeed, he will remember you, which can be a
Yeah.
hindrance in your job. And if you fail, he will remember you, which is a bigger hindrance sort of thing. Yeah, no, it won't be some nebulous, the god now frowns upon you. Unless
Yeah.
you're a cleric, in which case, yes, I will absolutely pull that card and say, yeah. And because we have spellcasters, it can mean you burn a spell slot without using it. That
So
was
I'm
also
not
one of the
gonna
recommended
I'm
ones.
I'm not going to destroy an entire planet if I decide that I want a fresh salad and I have to make a devil's bargain to get it.
Depends on where we are in the universe.
Universe.
Because
And
there
how good that
was that one Marvel comic where, in order to save the world, they had to eat the donut. If they didn't eat the donut, the world was doomed. So yes, it can be down to the salad. I'm not even joking. It's a fun
It-
story.
It's okay. I can grow my own salad.
Oh, nicely done, Tyler. Malkill,
Yep.
do you want to have space in front of your name so that you can fiddle around with stuff? Tyler's apparently moving people around.
Oh yeah, I can totally do that for you.
Yes.
Bing, bang, boom. There you go.
Bang boom.
Okay, so we're
I've
gonna.
just been subtly improving the table this whole time. Sorry for.
Oh, I'm cool with that. The rollers have been a pain for how long have we been playing Thursday's game? So yeah, no, that's fine. So we are going to introduce Devil's Bargains, which will be Tiamat's Bargains, Asmodeus' Bargains, just something's bargains, and
It could
the
be any of them.
flashback system, which will be fun. The other thing that I'm going to ask, but not insist on, how does everyone feel about encumbrance?
I really wanted to do it with Friday's game, but like, I'm actually quite glad that I never did because it just seems like more trouble than it's worth, ultimately.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I've fair enough. I've always factored in encumbrance, just not with.
You
Not
cut off after with.
Yeah.
Dang it. I've always factored in encumbrance, just not with my.
Not with my.
Geez, I was even holding it for much longer than I needed to. I've just not with money.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no money. Money, yeah, you don't have to worry about encumbrance with money, though do be aware there are thieves and pickpockets all over, and there are people here who will slit your throat for even a gold coin, so be careful.
Some of us are them.
Also true. Although you don't have sleight of hand trained, so we'll see how good you are at it.
Yeah, she does. Oh, it's
You
no.
have,
You're right. You're right. It's not. It's
I'm looking at
technically
your
not
character sheet. I
true.
was like, you have stealth. You don't have sleight of hand.
That's true. No, I don't. It's but it's high enough. It's high enough to make it interesting, right?
Yeah, I think so. One other thing that was suggested in the videos that could be fun, but it adds a lot more, and I think some of you have already done this kind of unconsciously with your backstory, is you have one thing, one unique trait in your history that means you could pull off this one miracle thing because you are an expert at it. For Tyler, it could be you know how to do a trick shot, not just the arcane archer stuff. Like if you cinematically describe a trick shot and roll well enough, I'll let you get away with it, sort of thing. But I think we already kind of play with that cinematically because if it's cool, rule of cool kind of still stands. So I don't think we need that, and I think all of you have something in your background that kind of gives you that already. Like RC has a green thumb. If anyone can make something grow here, it's probably her.
She's trying. She doesn't
Hey,
actually have any spells that allow her to grow plants. It's
hey, Miss
all
Mara's got
animal
some
based.
green, maybe there's some luck there. Can't be too dangerous. There's a pretty tree and everything. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, do I even have it? I can't remember. Let me check. I don't think I still have the consent form from the light pneumatic.
I got you.
No, I mean with everyone's filled out, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
But we all know each other for the most part, so I'm just going to do
Yeah, I can't
no judgment.
imagine. I can't imagine anything would have changed. So
Yeah, so I'm just going to go down the list real quickly to make sure I didn't cross that line already with some of the descriptions on that map, because I didn't even think about it until I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do that. So we're all good with horror, right? This is a space story, so
Yep.
there will be aliens at some point. So do we have any yellow or reds for bugs, blood, demons, eyeballs, gore, harm to animals, harm to children, rats, or spiders?
Not that I can think.
I mean, I'd yellow harm to animals, harm to children, like only if it was absolutely narratively like appropriate.
I
Okay.
mean, Genevieve would cause red on anybody who harmed an animal. So
ah,
I mean, there's that.
our first mission is hunting space rats. Ready, set, go.
Oh, what I do?
Okay. Relationships, we haven't really had to worry about that, but we're a more intimate group this time around, so I'm guessing it's still fade to black only, nothing explicit. Um,
Yes.
do we want to allow romance between PCs and NPCs? I'm not sure if I can do it, but if you want to pursue it, I'm all for giving it a try. Or is that a hard no?
You know, I'm fine with whatever. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum.
I mean, if we want a bar for that kind of Archon and Susan-ish relationship, which was pretty tame, but
Hmm.
I'd say that technically falls under between PCs, but I'll put that under yellow too.
oh yeah,
Same,
yeah, I guess it would be.
same with sex. That is an explicit fade to black only. No explicit anything. All right. I think I've already crossed some of the lines here on some of these descriptions, but social and cultural issues. So where have we got red and yellow on homophobia, racism, real world I'm just going to put a hard no on real world religion right now. Sexism and specific cultural issues.
What? You're going to nix Kitlak's hard turn into Judaism? Come on now. It's going to be a cornerstone of my character.
I mean, if you want to found it, go for it, man.
I've been learning Hebrew in real life for this moment. Oh, I haven't. Not gonna make any more jokes of that nature.
I think we're all here to escape realism.
Okay, so yellow on everything else, basically, only if it's story appropriate. Okay. No, I don't want to answer AI questions. Adobe, go away.
But are you sure?
Okay, mental and physical health. Cancer, yellow or red?
Would that
in
even come up in this game? We're in
Uh,
space.
You're in
maybe
space. Radiation exists
backstory.
in space.
It. I mean, you've got people that might be resurrecting, so it might be a thing.
So, do we want to make it yellow, story appropriate only?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think story appropriate's a pretty good metric.
I mean, I don't even
claustrophobia.
what would be the not story? I mean, I guess that would be the opposite. But what's the other choice? I guess because I guess I don't understand why it wouldn't be story appropriate if you were using it appropriately.
Lifetime movie. You know, every love interest has cancer, and that's why it's okay to betray them, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think what John's saying is, where it's just gratuitous. Like it's like, oh, I'm pressing this sadness button just to fuck with the players,
That's. I think that is where he was going with that.
Yeah.
Although we also have biological weapons would be the other end of that, is if we want to avoid that as well. But I think that falls under genocide, which, yeah, that's yellow reddish right there, I believe, for all of us.
I think
Unless
it's a
story
yellow for
appropriate.
me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see very specific depictions of it, but I mean, if it is something that's happening in the universe, I'm okay with that as a story.
Let's just say one of these cities is filled with drow, so
I mean,
it
light
come up.
pneumatic touched on
Yes,
genocide,
it
I
did.
guess.
Yes, it did. Although that was a wrath of God thing. But yeah. Freezing to death.
I mean,
Appropriate for space.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds appropriate for space. Yeah.
Is anyone triggered by claustrophobia?
uh, I am
No.
in real life, but depictions of it, no.
Okay. Um, gaslighting. Oh, that's just NPC. So, heat stroke,
Nope.
natural disasters, earthquake, forest fires, an endless stream of lava.
I mean, just to go back a second to gaslighting. I mean, there's people. If you're in a group, you're gonna play jokes on people.
Yeah, but there's a limit to things.
Not
I think what
not
that's
to the point.
recognizing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that kind of
Story appropriate or player appropriate, but not
Yeah.
when
like
it becomes inappropriate, that falls under the red part of mental health, kind of a thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Paralysis or
Yeah.
physical restraint, other than fight mechanics.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is already kind of written into some of the descriptions, but police and police aggression.
I mean, I
triggered?
can't play an outlaw without having some police.
Guards are gonna
And,
guard, and we're
yeah.
gonna be against them.
Okay. This one I'm going to guess that the last two are a red because pregnancy is probably okay, but miscarriage or abortion, I'm guessing, is a no.
Eh, yeah, that'd be
Okay.
a bit weird.
I think
Totally.
I would say maybe in backstory it would be okay.
Okay. Self-harm. Anyone
I'm
triggered by
all right.
that or yellow for that?
To a yellow, to a point, I think.
Severe weather, I think
Yeah.
we live that, so.
Uh,
Sexual assault, I'm going to just put as hard no right away.
I would agree.
yeah, it's important to realize your own stuff counts too.
Starvation is a possibility if you don't have enough supplies flying across the astral sea.
Well, I guess that's a question about how you're going to run the game too.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
we're facing it in Friday's game too, so we are dealing with that. I won't try to
Yeah,
cop
that
you too
sounds
much,
like-
Tyler.
No, come on now. It doesn't matter.
That seems like a problem for you douchebags.
Yeah.
Don't come crawling to Genevieve for no good berries. She doesn't do any good berries, okay?
This one is alluded to in some of the map descriptions, but it's up to you if you want to participate or have active moments of it. Terrorism. Green, story appropriate, or hard no?
Literally, my intro was occasional eco-terrorist.
Story appropriate it is.
I think
Yes,
so.
I am okay with that. For some reason, I think we're probably going to be on the side of the ones causing that.
What, a bounty hunter, an eco-terrorist? No. Which kind of leads to the next one of, with the Thursday game, this is probably mostly okay, torture. I'm guessing story appropriate okay?
And not too graphic.
Fair. Agreed.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of now that I thought I got some feedback and thought back on what Maven did on like a few things. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had him do that.
I am still stunned
Yeah.
by the beheading of that orc. And that's Dawn
That
saying
scarred
that.
Z. That scarred Z so much. But yes, I'm okay with that as long as it's not too descriptive. Like you can tell us that you're putting the thumb screws to somebody, just don't describe it to.
Fair enough.
And for any of this stuff, seriously say something if you're having a problem with it.
Yes, do let me know.
Yep.
Let everyone know. Granted, we're broadcasting, but you know what? As RC put it, who's watching? Yeah, just if you have a hard limit, let us know. If you don't feel comfortable saying it out, I'm on Discord while we're on this. All of that. So yeah,
And just as a side note, if this would be a helpful thing, if like saying something as yourself is difficult, like sometimes you don't want to bring something up for fear that will reflect on you. Like I don't want to like say, oh, I don't want this line to be crossed, because then people start asking, why doesn't Tyler want this line to be crossed or whatever. I could very easily code a button that would just make a sound when anyone pushed it, and we could just have that on the board for when anyone wants to press that.
but I will say this is a judgment-free zone. If you do want to do the button thing, that's in fact, Tyler, I would say do it just for
Just
future
to have
use.
it.
Yeah. And frankly,
Yes.
for Thursday's game, that actually wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing either. Um, but no judgment from anyone here. None of us will press you on it. If you say stop, we stop. It's no safe word needed. This is D&D. We're here for a good time.
I would agree on both those points. Go ahead and make a button just so we have it. But
Mhm.
this is actually a very good group of people, very understanding group of people. I don't think there's going to be any issues. But
Yeah.
And
if you're
other
not
than
close,
Walgreens surprise beheading that one or two times, and Malkill's um, destroying of a dragon's mind, I think I might be the darkest one here. So it'd be good to have the button in case I cross the line unknowingly, because I grew up on Law and Order and murder mysteries and don't always realize when I kind of go, whoopsie. So yes.
yeah. Did you hear about the destroying the dragon's mind?
Can't say as I have.
Oh, tell this story. It's sad and also okay.
Yeah, there was I think it was a blue dragon that was kind of harassing our group. It hung back for whatever reason, and Zeus didn't want to deal with it, and he also needed blood from the blue dragon, so he cast Feeble Minded on it, and
Yeah,
It's save.
Feeble Mind is a really fucked up spell, just as a general statement.
Yeah.
oh, it super
Yeah.
is. It's almost impossible. I think it might actually be impossible to make that safe on your own without assistance if you
Yeah.
fail.
And I will tell you right now, that is one of the few things that Don was actually terrified of. Period. End of quote. And it was from Uzis, the worshiper of dragons. That made it even more terrifying. Like you scarred him that
Oh.
day.
Zeus needed that.
There were better ways, man. So back to triggers. Any other mental or physical health triggers that you want to add to the list as either hard red or yellow? Okay, you can always
None
speak up
that
later.
immediately come to
Yeah, there will be time to add to this list at any point. Okay, any additional triggers or things you don't want to touch on in this game?
No,
Okay,
none here.
all right, so I will save that just as a reference. Like I said, I may have already touched on some of these. I don't think I crossed any of our hard red lines. Yeah, that's a fictional religion, so it's fine. And I don't really do sex, so yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, that is our trigger list. What else am I missing? Spelljammers. I know I've already got one request for a Spelljammer ship. That is noted. I won't guarantee what ship you get. It'll depend if you're going to go steal one. It'll depend if you're going to try and save up and buy one. As you'll find, there is an option to design one. There is actually a Spelljammer harbor here where you can build one from scratch, or if you find one along your plots.
Plots.
Does that mean we get to play with?
You cut off after play with.
To play with.
Does that mean we get to play with Legos?
I mean, you can always play with Legos. Legos are fun.
Oh.
What it means
so
is I will be asking Tyler for help on how to do ship floor plans on maps.
Oh boy. All right. That's not an easy answer.
We got time.
Okay.
Unless you decide session 1 to try and steal a ship, in which case we don't got time, but we'll figure it out as we go. Okay, so that is, I think, everything that was needed for session 0. Am I missing anything, or does anyone want to add anything?
Good luck. Have fun.
Always.
So are we just all came together and started working together?
That is a good question. How did you four come together? It sounds like most of you ended up on this asteroid either because you awoke here, Cassie. You ended up here, Kitlak. You're researching something, Genevieve, or you're just looking for the highest profit with minimal time. Shea.
Shay.
So why
I
did you
I
four
liked your
come-
idea that you DM'd to me for Shay, or for anyone really.
Give me 1 second.
Give me 1 second.
That is Friday's game.
There it is.
Well, you said there's like one of two main corporations.
There are
Here.
many, many corporations. There are 2 resurrection corporations that are having sort of a silent race to get people signed up for, profit and scientific reasons. You can't discover how to make it better. I mean, it's only 83%, 84% accurate. Those 16% just don't make it sometimes.
Yeah, it could be as simple as we all work for the same corporation. Unless we're freelancers.
That's very true.
Actually, yes, Galdwin, I remember that suggestion now. We might start with that. Cassie is she's sort of a contract worker with one of the 2 resurrection corporations right now. I'm pretty sure you can guess which one based on the description under Crimson Plateau. So she is a good consultant and contact for, well, any job, really, or at least consistent jobs. But the Crimson Plateau is a huge market and a huge city beneath it. There are plenty of jobs. I think, yeah, actually, Goldwyn, I think we could use that scenario. It might be a rescue mission, you guys.
And it could be. I didn't have initially. I didn't think that Shay would be in any corp to start off with, but I'm open to the idea.
Well, the Great Mine is open to everyone. There's just a little bit of a price. I guess I should ask, would Shay be willing to risk diving into the Fernia Fissure? The one owned by the Drow.
Is that where everyone else is in?
Nope, Great Mine is the collective one. Great Mine is the big
What?
open one.
Okay, what if she got into one that she wants to get out of?
Oh, well, there's reasons to get out of Great Mine. After all, the Astral Elves do take a rather large portion of your mining, of what you find.
And maybe that's why she's needs saving.
I will work through that. But yeah, it sounds like you three might meet your fourth member on a rescue. As for why at least three of you met, well, I'd say Kitlatch, you approached Cassie because you heard that she was a reliable source for, if not always a person, at least a treasure. And RC, or rather Genevieve, that's also a good reason to approach Cassie. Is some of her consultant missions take her all over, including to Mistmar, the only green area on the map. That's known.
And our diminutive stature means we can get into places that some of these taller folk can't.
Mm-hmm.
Also means people underestimate you.
All we need is one really big trench coat.
Which you could absolutely find at the market if you wanted to. Um, yeah. Okay, so you three know each other basically through Cassie. Cassie, you are a contract worker with one of the major corporations. Like I said, you'll figure out which one pretty easily, and Shay
Uh,
will have their figurine figured out for next week, I'm sure.
Yep, like I basically had it done, and then I just wanted to tweak it, like add like stuff, do the base and add stuff on the base. I had to redo it, unfortunately. So I'm working on it.
Oh, Tyler, your name moved, but your icon didn't.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm sure once I log in, actually, I'll probably do it like this. Bah. There we
Well
go.
done. All right, what were you going to
Yes,
say?
Malco?
Jeez.
What were you going to say?
I don't think that's working.
Can you hear us?
It'll be a work in progress.
Can you hear me at all?
We can. Can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you.
Well, that sucks. I don't know why it's not keying up when I'm tabbed out of this program. Oh well.
I do would. I'm open to suggestions for an uncommon item for Shay right now.
Oh my.
I haven't really. She has a immovable rod right now, which sounds like it could come in handy for the stuff we're doing. But it's yeah, I didn't see a lot of stuff that made sense.
So everything is white right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I wanted one with labels on there for you.
Speaking of labels, the thing that you had linked earlier.
Is it not
Whenever I
working?
click,
Is it not?
whenever I click any of the names, it just comes up with a blank text box on the left side of the window.
Oh, bugger. Hang on, let me see what's going on here.
Check to make sure that you have the entry set to public and not private view.
I could have
I
sworn I did.
forget what it's actually called in World Anvil, but some of them are like DM only notes. Because I had noticed that too, but I didn't want to derail the conversation.
What's weird is that Alex tested it this weekend and it worked fine.
That's weird. I don't know.
What browser are you using?
Firefox.
Okay, yeah, I'm using Firefox too, so it should work if it's working for you.
Okay. Someone
Is
tried
it still
to.
cutting me off, by the way?
Not presently, but it has been really recently.
Can someone try clicking on Sulatar Tower and see if that brings up something this time?
Yes.
Okay, so that worked. Okay, so let me switch.
Yeah,
Let me
that's working
control
this time.
his. Hang on 1 second.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, everything got reset to draft for some reason. Maybe when I linked it to the map. Okay, reload and give it a shot now.
Oh yeah, it's working now.
Okay. That's the problem when you're the creator, is you can't tell. Everything on there is basically public record, so there are a few plot hooks that you might interest or pique some of you. I can see Genevieve definitely being interested in some stuff from Mistmar, and well, Kitchlax. There's not one but two. Well, actually, I guess technically it'd be Shay. It's not one but two treasuries that might be worth getting into. Three if you really want to go for the city one. And for Kitlac, well, there are GIF at the plateau, but there are also GIF at the towers. So lots going on.
It's the gift that keeps on gifting.
And that, I think, is everything for our session 0. We are trying the 2024 rules, which we're all learning as we go. So, Malkill, you're kind of on top of it more than any of us. If something comes up that we should really, that goes a certain way that's different from 2014, go ahead and bring it up for us.
I
would
will
say-
certainly try. I'm not an expert on it or anything, but y'all might want to read that RPG bot article that I linked, and I can relink it for you.
Yeah, and just make sure to reread your spells and abilities, I guess, just to make sure you understand how they're working in the new system.
Speaking of spells, Artificer is kind of a pain in the butt because it still links to the old 2014 versions because the class has not been updated.
I was selecting a bunch of
Legacy?
2014 legacy spells anyways.
And that's fine. All learning it, and if we feel more comfortable with Legacy and after a session or two, that's fine too. As for how quickly you'll level, I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be quicker than Friday, but it might not be as quick as the last Tuesday. Definitely not as quick as Thursday.
I'm not worried about it.
Will there be a possible option to change my subclass if I find that that homebrew one is not working out?
Yes, there will be. Um, that was going to be one of the kind of quiet advantages of the immortality, where if you end up dying and there's a level up, we could definitely discuss subtle changes because, again, it's only 84% successful. So some things may get adjusted in transition, so to speak.
Yeah, I just know because I'm playing that homebrew class, and I'm sure it'll be a little bit weaker than.
I think we've got two homebrew classes, so we'll be watching both of those carefully. And Tyler, yours is the Arcane Archer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you feel that's underpowered or doesn't quite fit, let me know. And I think Galdwin's the only one doing Clockwork Sorcerer, which, um, if you hate it, let me know. You know me; I'm very flexible for most things. And this is a very deadly asteroid. It could be that you all die in session one. I hope not, because you've all put in so much time and effort. Um, but you fall in lava. Yeah, you can fall in lava here. It's not a good sign.
I mean, I have a backup already. I have a backup. The one that I was asking you if reincarnation could be an alternate.
Oh yes, most definitely. That is a you might come across that. Yes, definitely. All right. Any questions or anything? If you've now peeked through the map, any questions there? You can also ping me with any questions if you have any on any of the articles that I've published. And again, I apologize for spelling errors and grammar issues. Um,
It's
I
okay,
haven't
I'll
looked
take a
back
red
over.
pen to it.
And if there's any place on the asteroid you just have a general question about that's not labeled, I might be able to answer. I might not.
Um, what about, could we get like a sort of short synopsis about the different corporations?
So basically, the Crimson Plateau is an enormous market atop a city. This market, there is no kind of general government. It's basically but the merchants have kind of an uneasy alliance on how things should be run. And each merchant guild, for lack of a better term, um, is a would be considered a corporation. There's mining, there's refining, there's farming or agriculture, and because it's so unique, there are two that focus on reincarnation. One through the magical means that you guys all did in that test session, and one through a more mechanical means that Cassie may or may not be familiar with. So those two are specifically corporations. Everything else is kind of a guild, but also kind of an independent industrialist, so to speak, where there might be competing mine guilds, but they work together to make sure things run smoothly in the city for the most part. Uh, if you're looking for a specific guild in question, like there are those who will mine the poisonous gases and vapors. There are those who will risk burns to get some of the lava. There are those who look for the gem deposits. There are those who go for precious metals. There are those who just want the obsidian. Um, it really depends on what kind of guild you're looking for or what kind of corporation you're looking for. Uh, if you're looking to be a puppet to one of them, they will happily take you in. Um, is there something specifically you're looking for?
No, I was just looking for generalities.
Yeah, the big corporations are the two competing resurrection ones because there isn't really anything like that anywhere else. Um, and it is quietly, slowly dividing the guilds within the marketplace on which one is the better one. But it's not quite war yet. I don't think it will be for quite some time. But Bloodfall Crevice is where the nearby mining is done for the plateau. Great Mine is Rivishold claims all of Great Mine and may harass you, but there are portions where it's more of a free port, and if you can get your stuff out without the elves noticing, yeah, it's all yours. Fernia Fisher belongs very much to the Drow. If you're found there, they will capture you, brand you, and put you to work in the worst parts of the mine. And the Abyssal Breach, just ask permission and you're welcome to do it. Just know that if you fall, you can fall directly through the asteroid into space. You have to ask the Fallen for permission. Sorry, I should have specified that. So those are the three major mining groups. There are places in the Barrens where you might find rare gems and such, but that's sort of at your own risk. The Shadow Spires, that's where you can find natural plant life, well, semi-natural plant life. If you're willing to risk the shadows, you can go there. And San Zarathod apparently has a mine or a resource of exclusively rare gems, rarely found in the multiverse, but no one's sure where. So if you can figure that out, you know, one, if you get them and the monks don't get you, you know, that's a heaping hunk of change. And if you just find out where it is, there will people who will buy that information. So information brokering is 100% acceptable here. But your information better be good or they will come after you. For Fail Room, Roaring Hollow, and Jagged Mesa, I will let you read up on those. And as for Mistmar, you do not steal from the Fae. It will not end well. But you're welcome to try. And of course, Olaru's Rest is just lava. It is death. You step in that and you die. Unless you have a way to survive lava, in which case, congrats. At level 3, I would be very impressed.
Fire resistance is enough, right?
Yeah, no, the elementals don't even go beyond the near border to Sofatarlan, because you see the really bright lava underneath the skeleton. That is technically as hot as a star's surface still. It is too hot even for elementals.
I've been playing Dark Souls 1 recently, and there is a separation between fire resistance and lava resistance. I like that distinction.
I was just joking.
Solfataralan is kind of the safest lava zone, and you know that's with a ground that's kind of soft and occasionally will dip into a magma lake or an explosion of poisonous gas, which I think Cassie would be okay with, but I'm not sure about the rest of you. Does Cassie have immunity to poison, or do they need to breathe?
Cassie only has resistance to poison.
Okay,
So yeah, I don't know.
It might
I don't
degrade
know
your
if
metals.
Sophidolaran is. Yeah, I don't know if Sophidolaran is that safe for her.
Well, nowhere is really safe on this asteroid. No, I take that back. The Fallen's Forge is very safe. Everyone who lives there is safe. Everyone who embraces the Fallen is safe. And if you're a member of the monk order of Sinzerathod, you're pretty safe too. Everywhere else is not so safe. I like the pedestals, Tyler.
Why, thank you. It added a certain je ne sais quoi.
I mean, it's about as intact as Dalaran right now anyway, so that's appropriate.
That is a major oof.
So any other questions or anything else I can clarify or anything that's popped up on the articles making you go, huh?
No, I'll have to sit and read them when I have like actual time where I'm not trying to pay attention to what people are saying.
Fair enough. And I will say some of them do have some hidden truths within them. If you happen to find them and ping me, you may get a reward. But don't go deep dive researching. Don't stress yourself. They're just fun things that I put in there as kind of, yeah, this could be relevant to plot if you go there, but you'd have to know the reference. And I blame that on WoW and comics for that.
Yeah,
Tyler will
I'll
know
be
like
reading
half
it later.
these. Will know like half these references right off the bat because I know he's obsessed with a certain realm that a lot of stuff was pulled from.
Can't say as I know what you're talking about right off the bat.
You have a framed map of it.
Oh yeah.
How is the frame holding up, anyways?
Not super great. It's missing its bottom piece. And
Yeah,
I think I need to get another one, but it's still on the wall.
fair enough. So that is about everything for session 0. Is there anything else we need to go over?
Nothing that immediately comes to mind.
All right. Any final words, Malkiel? Okay, RC.
Final words?
Just for today's session.
Shibbity boobity.
Yeah.
Godwin.
I like short people.
And Tyler.
Plead the fifth.
Probably something your character will be saying a lot, which no one will understand. All right then. Then that's our session 0 for Soulfall. We will hopefully, assuming work has not pounded me into non-existence, be starting next Tuesday, and we'll figure out things from there.
Plead the fifth of what?
Jack.
November.
What's November?
Something, gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Also something that your character will probably be saying a lot of. I guess I should mention it. Yeah, there is no sun here. All light comes from the remains of the solar dragon. There are no planets. There are no moons. You are just adrift on the astral sea on an asteroid that occasionally crashes into other planes briefly, and not always entirely.
Yeah, November